Hello everyone. Today we will be studying about the network layer services. It is our third chapter in module 3. Before discussing the network layer in the internet, let's discuss the network layer services. So here the communication between the Alice and Bob at the network layer. This example will be seen. So let us see here. The communication at the network layer, you can see here, internet is an internetwork which is a combination of LAN, WAN. At the source host, network layer accepts the packet from the transport layer, encapsulates the packet in a datagram, delivers the packet to the data link layer. At the destination host, the datagram is decapsulated and the packet is extracted and that is delivered to the corresponding transport layer. So here the source and the destination host are involved in all the 5 layers, but the router is involved and it uses only 3 layers, that is physical, data link and the network. You can see here at the source there are 5 layers, at the destination, at the Bob there are 5 layers, and in between there are routers which are 3 layers. So physical, data link and the network layer. So the different services that are offered. First one is packetizing. It is a network layer service where encapsulating the payload in the network layer packet at source and decapsulating the payload from the network layer packet at the destination. That is the first duty of the network layer, which is said to be packetizing. In other words, the duty of the network layer is to carry a payload from the source to the destination without changing it or using it. Thus, this network layer is doing the service of a carrier such as the postal office, which is responsible for delivering the packets from a sender to a receiver without changing or using the contents. It is just like the postal office service. Here, the source host receives the payload, as it was told already, from the upper layer, which is transport layer, adds header that contains source and the destination address and also some other information which is required, and delivers that to the below layer, which is data link layer. So as you have physical, data link, network, transport, application. The source is not allowed to change the content or use the content unless it is too large for the delivery. If it is too large, it needs to be fragmented. The destination host receives the network layer packet from the data link layer at the receiver side. It decapsulates the packet and delivers the payload to the upper layer. If the packet is fragmented at the source or at the routers along the path, the network layer is responsible for waiting until all the fragments arrive, reassemble them and deliver them to the above layer, that is the transport layer. Routers are not allowed to change the addresses. They just have to inspect the address just to forward the packet to the next network on the path. That is about the packetizing. So the function is encapsulate at the source end, decapsulate at the receiver end, and just it has to carry the packets from source to the destination without changing or using the contents. Only if the packet is very large, then it needs to be fragmented. Only then it is allowed to change the content of the payload. Next, the second service or the second duty is said to be routing and forwarding. The network layer, this duty is as important as the first one. So these are directly related to each other. The network layer is responsible for routing the packet from the source to the destination or finding the best route among the possible routes. To find this best route, routing protocols are used, and here the decision making tables, or also it is said as routing tables or the forwarding tables, are created for each and every router. So here in the process of forwarding, you can see in the figure here, The action applied by each router when a packet arrives at one of its interfaces can be seen here. The forwarding table or the routing table, or it is also said as decision making table, is shown here. From the figure, when the router receives a packet from one of its attached network, it first needs to forward the packet to another attached network or some other attached networks. To make this decision, router uses the information which is there in the header, packet header. It can be the destination address or any other label to find out the corresponding output interface number in the forwarding table. So here you can see that at the interface 1, this is the packet which is arrived. So by looking at the header, forwarding value is B, corresponding entry in the forwarding table, that is output interface is 2. By looking at this, the packet is forwarded to that interface which is 2, packet is sent. That is the forwarding process. The other services are error control and also flow control and congestion control. As these are not provided at the network layer, as all are provided at the upper layer. So let us say error control, as packet may be fragmented at each router, which makes error checking inefficient. So checksum is added to control any corruption if there is, and this will be added in the header. So ICMP is a protocol which provides error control. Next is about the flow control. Flow control regulates the amount of data. As you have already studied, a source can send without overwhelming the receiver. And there are 3 reasons why there is no need of a flow control. Because since there is no error control, network may be rarely overwhelmed. And also buffers are used here, and the upper layer protocol flow control is provided. So there is no need of having a flow control in the network layer. Next is about the next topic is about congestion control, which is the other service. Even the congestion occurs if the number of datagram sent by the source computer is beyond the capacity of network, which is already told. Some routers, because of which, may drop some datagrams, and due to the error control here at the upper layer, sender sends the duplicates of these lost packet. If the congestion continues, system collapses. So congestion control is provided at the upper layers, and also about the quality of service, it is provided in the upper layers. With respect to the security was not a concern when the internet was originally designed, because it was used by small number of users. Now it is a big concern to provide security for connectivity. The network layer, we need to have another virtual channel that changes the connection less to a connection oriented service. That is about the other services. Next, let us see the next topic, which is packet switching. From the discussion of routing and the forwarding, we infer that a kind of switching occurs at the network layer. A router is nothing but a switch that creates a connection between an input port and the output port, or a set of output ports, just as an electrical switch which connects the input to the output, which makes the electricity to flow. Here, router creates a connection between the input port and the output port, and the switching techniques are divided into circuit switching and the packet switching. Here, circuit switching will be used at the physical layer. Packet switching is used here in the network layer because the unit of data at the network layer is a packet. The connecting devices in the packet switch network need to decide how to route or how to send these packets to the final destination. So there are 2 different approaches used to route these packets. One is said to be the datagram approach, and the other is said to be the virtual circuit approach. So these are very important. First is the datagram approach, which is for the connection-less service, and next is the virtual circuit approach, which is for the connection-oriented service. So about the datagram approach, it is for the connectionless service. Here, when the internet started, to make it simple, the network layer was designed to provide a connectionless service in which the network layer protocol treats each packet independently, with each packet having no relationship to any other packet. The idea was that the network layer is responsible for delivery of packets from source to the destination. In this approach, the packets in a message may or may not travel the same path to the destination, which is said to be a connectionless service. Already you had studied about the connectionless service. In the connectionless service, the packets are not numbered and the packets are independent of each other and they follow different paths. So the datagram approach uses connectionless service here. You can see here each packet is treated independently. Connectionless packet switch network with each packet which will be treated independently, which don't have a relationship to any other packet. Here the network layer is responsible for the delivery of packets, and packets travel in different paths. You can see here 4, 3, 2, 1. These are the fragments of that single packet, but you can see 4, 3, 2 travels from different path, however reaches at the final destination receiver, and these will be received out of order. As shown in the figure, when the network layer provides connectionless service, each packet is an independent entity. Here the switch is a router. Packet belonging to the message may be followed by the packet belonging to the same or different message. Packet may be followed by the packet coming from source or a different source. Here each packet is routed based on the header information. So here the destination address defines where it should go. With respect to the destination, that will be decided by the destination address, and the source address defines where it comes from. The router routes based on the destination address, and the source address is used to send the error message to the source, which as a reply in case if the packet gets discarded in the process. So you can see here it is a forwarding process based on the destination address. With respect to that destination address, output interface is found out from the forwarding table and the packet will be sent. And the source address is used just to send back the reply in case if the packet gets corrupted. That is about the datagram approach. The main thing in the datagram approach is it is used for the connectionless service here, which is a connectionless packet switch network. Here the packets follow different paths and they arrive at the receiver out of order. Next is about the virtual circuit approach, which is also very important. Remember, this virtual circuit approach is used in a connection oriented service. So there is a relationship between all the packets belonging to a message. Before all datagrams can be sent, a virtual connection should be set up to define the path. Here it is a connection oriented service. So there should be a connection which is established in the connection setup phase. Then the datagrams can all follow the same path. In this type of service, not only the packet contain the source and the destination address, it also should contain a flow label. This flow label is an identifier which defines the virtual path the packet should flow. So all the packets should be following the same path to reach the destination, which you have, as you have seen here. So here what happens here is that here in the connection oriented service, there is a relationship between all the packets belonging to the message. Before those datagrams are sent, a virtual connection is set up to define the path. After the connection is set up, the datagrams follow the same path. Here the packet contains source address, destination address and a flow label. Flow label is an identifier which tells about the virtual path the packet should follow. The figure shows the forwarding decision, which is here you can see that it follows the same path. And here this is a figure which shows the forwarding decision is based on the value of the virtual circuit identifier or the label. To create a connection oriented service, there is an incoming label, outgoing label. So based on that, path will be set up. Next is, to create a connection oriented service, 3-phase process is used. One is said to be the setup phase, second is data transfer phase, and the third is said to be the tear down phase. So here in the setup phase, which is first one, the source address and the destination address are used to make the table entries for the connection oriented service. So here there are 2 packets which need to be sent. One is the request packet, the other is the acknowledgement packet, which need to be exchanged between the sender and the receiver. First, a request packet is sent from the source to the destination. Here you can see that step 1, the source A sends a request packet to router R1. Step 2, R1 receives this packet and creates the entry in the forwarding table as the entries are made here, and then it forwards that to router R3. Step 3, router R3 receives that request packet. Once again, 3 columns are completed, that is incoming port, the label, incoming label, outgoing port. Only the outgoing label will not be filled. Step 4, R4 receives the packet, where step 5, R5, where B receives the packet, which is the final step, and assigns the label to the packet, that is the last label. So this will be filled. You can see here that will be filled as 77. Now in response to it, acknowledgement packet will be sent, which will be the reply. So this acknowledgement packet completes the entries in the forwarding table or switching table or the routing table or the decision making table. Here the incoming label of R3 is used as the outgoing label of R1. So that is what you can see here. So incoming label of the next router will be the outgoing label of the previous router, which was not filled in the earlier case. Now it will be filled. So 22 is filled here, 66 is filled here, and 77 was obtained in the last step of the sending packet, that tells about the source address. Next is, once we have the acknowledgement packet which is sent back, the connections will be set up. Next is about flow of one packet in an established virtual circuit. That means it is the second phase, which is said to be the data transfer phase. After all the routers have created their forwarding table for the specific virtual circuit, the network layer packets belonging to one message can be sent one after the other. Here you can see that along with the addresses, once the forwarding tables are constructed, data will be sent in that same path, which is said to be the connection oriented service. So once the data transfer phase gets completed, we have the tear down phase. So in this tear down phase, after all the packets are sent to B, A sends a tear down packet and the destination responds with a confirmation packet, and all the routers delete the corresponding entries from the forwarding or the decision making or the switching or the routing table. So this is what happens in the virtual circuit approach. So we have seen about in today's class about different services of the network layer. In addition to the different services, we have also seen about the packet switching, where we had discussed about the datagram and also about the virtual circuit approach. So let us move back once again. So first is about the different services. So as we have already discussed about the services, we have first service was packetizing. So here first duty of the network layer is packetizing, which is encapsulating the payload in the network layer packet at the source, decapsulate the payload from the network layer packet at the destination. That means network layer carries the payload from the source to the destination without changing or using it. Network layer is doing the service of a carrier such as postal office, which is responsible for delivery of the packages from the sender to a receiver without changing or using the content. Next is about routing and forwarding. Here, the network layer is responsible for routing the packet from source to destination. That is nothing but finding the best route among the possible routes. To find this, routing protocols are used, and also decision making tables are created for each router. Next is about forwarding. Here, action applied by each router when a packet arrives at one of its interfaces is said to be forwarding. Here also forwarding table is used. When router receives a packet, it needs to forward the packet. To make this decision, router uses a piece of information in the packet header, which is said to be the label, to find out the corresponding output interface in the forwarding table. The other services were discussed where error control, flow control, congestion control. Though these are not provided at the network layer, error control packet may be fragmented at each router, which makes the error checking inefficient. So checksum is added, and also ICM, which is auxiliary protocol, provides the error control. Flow control regulates the amount of data a source can send without overwhelming the receiver. And also, since there is no error control, there is no need of having flow control, and also buffers are used here. Upper layer protocol flow control is provided. Next, with respect to the congestion control is number of packets sent by the source computer is beyond the capacity of the network. Some routers may drop some datagrams. Due to the error control mechanism at the upper layer, sender sends duplicates of the lost packet. If the congestion continues, system collapses. Next, we have seen about the packet switching. So from the discussion of routing and forwarding, switching occurs at the network layer. So a router is nothing but a switch which creates a connection between the input and the output port. Now packet switching is used at the network layer because the unit of data at the network layer is a packet. The connecting devices decides how to route a packet to the final destination. So it uses two approaches. One is the datagram approach and one more is the virtual circuit approach. So in the datagram approach, which is a connection-less packet switch network, which provides a connection-less service, the packet is treated independently with each packet having no relationship to any other packet. Here, the network layer is responsible for delivery of the packets. The packet can travel in different paths. So here you can see that each packet is an independent entity here. Packet belonging to a message may be followed by packet belonging to same or different message, or it may be followed by packet coming from same or different source. So packet is routed based on the header information. Destination address defines where it should go. Source address defines where it comes from. Routes based on the destination address. The source addresses can be used to send the error message if in case the message gets discarded. Next, we had seen about the virtual circuit approach, where it is for the connection oriented service, so which involves three phases: setup phase, data transfer phase, and the teardown phase. So here packet contains source address, destination address, and a flow label which defines the virtual path the packet should follow. So in the setup phase, source address and the destination address are used to make the table entries for the connection oriented service. And here two packets are sent. One is request packet and the other is the acknowledgement packet, which are exchanged. Which involves 6 different steps, and the forwarding table entries are completed. And in the acknowledgement packet, it completes the entries by entering the outgoing label, and the incoming label of the next router will be used as the outgoing label of the previous router in the reverse direction. Next is about the data transfer phase. After all routers have created the forwarding table for specific virtual circuit, network layer packets belonging to one message can be sent one after the other. And finally, the tear down phase, where after sending all the packets, source A sends the tear down packet, where the destination responds with a confirmation packet. All the routers delete the corresponding entries from these tables. So in the next class, we'll see about IPv4 addresses, where we'll be discussing about the address formats, classful addressing, classless addressing, and also related to that few problems will be solved. Thank you.